Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So, question for you. My wife and I, last year, we bought too much house. And to change our situation, we've chosen to sell. We're running into some roadblocks. And so I wanted some guidance. And I'll jump into the numbers with you.
Okay.
What are the roadblocks?
Yeah, so bought our house last year, $366,500. Put 5% down, which is about $20K. 7% interest rate. Currently, we still owe $342,000. And our
wait. How do you owe $342,000 when you only borrowed $246,000?
Sorry, $366,000.
Oh, $366,000. Okay, and you put 20 down, so you had a $346,000, and now you owe $342,000. Okay, now I'm catching up.
Correct.
Good. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Yep. I make $71,000 a year. We have no other debt. But this home is more than 50% of our take-home pay. So it was an unwise choice. In January of this year, we decided we needed to make a change. The increase of property taxes and home insurance kind of tipped us over the edge, as well as the situation at work was not what I was expecting it to be. So in April, we saw a position open up closer to family. So we decided to take that, but it's a lateral position, so we are responsible for the move. The workplace is not providing us any kind of support in moving. But we decided it was best
where are you moving?
to Nevada.
Oh, wow.
How in the world are you doing that? You don't have that option. You're stuck in a house right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to walk away from the house?
Well, I wanted to review our options with you. We listed the house on May 3rd. We have only had 2 offers.
What were the offers?
It was $350,000 plus $14K in closing costs. So factoring in fees, we would owe about $30,000 to sell the home.
Mm-hmm.
And just this past weekend, we took the house off the market because my wife hits 38 weeks pregnant this week.
Oh, boy.
And,
oh, boy. Oh, pull it back. You need to pull it back.
Did you already quit your job?
Well, I have made yes, I did make the change to the new team.
So you're expected in Nevada when?
Well, my new manager wanted us there in July, but that's obviously not happening.
Did you not look at what the markets were doing before you took this? I mean,
the
38-week
market was better in April.
Yeah, but, not that much better. Not that much better. It hadn't changed that much. Oh, you're in it now, though.
Wow.
Yep.
8 months pregnant. You were due in July, so now they want you there ASAP. You're going to owe. What money do you have? You don't have any money anywhere?
No, we don't have any money.
No, we have only a small, about 1 month emergency fund.
Let me ask you this, just so I can get on your train of thought. What did you think you might do? Like, if you knew, okay, we're going to be a little underwater in this house, what did you think you might do in order to cover that and make the move?
Well, we listed at $365,000, so we were hoping we could sell it at that and come out clean without owning anything on the house.
But you hadn't thought, what if we can't get that?
Correct.
I see.
Well, and you can't pay the payment barely now, but you're going to move and take on housing costs in another city at the same pay rate. So how did you think you were going to pay the payment until the house sold?
Well, we were hoping to sell the house fast.
Oh, man.
And there's a lot of hope in here. All right, dude, you really got this out of order. I wish you had just kept your job until you got the house sold.
Yeah, because what were you thinking?
And had a baby before you got the house. I mean, before you have to move.
Were you thinking you were going to go to Nevada, stay with family until this house sold? Or were you thinking you'll go to Nevada, the house will magically sell, and we'll be able to afford rent there?
Well,
just
we were
didn't
hoping
think
to sell the house and then move and rent in Nevada.
Okay.
and start from zero.
What
out
does
there.
your wife do? Well, I mean, I know she's pregnant right this second, but what is her career?
So she takes care of our kids at home. We have 2 other boys.
So she's a full-time mom, and you make $71,000.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm caught up with where you are. I'm aghast at how you got here, but let's see if we can help you from this point forward. Okay.
Okay.
So you're moving to Nevada with a brand new baby and starting your life, and your house is going to sit here until it sells or until you borrow $30,000 successfully to be able to sell the house at the current deal, right?
Right.
And your current house payment is what?
$2,809.
Okay, so $3,000 a month is burn rate. So 10 months, you could have the thing on the market and break even with the $30,000 loss you're facing.
Right.
Okay, so that's probably not an offer you need to take because you know even if you could borrow the $30,000, I suspect you can get more for this house sometime in the next 10 months than you've gotten for it now.
Okay.
Now you're probably not going to be able to pay the payment because you're going to set up house in Nevada and you're not going to have the money to pay this payment. Am I right?
Correct.
So the house is going to get progressively behind because you made this move without having the house sold.
Yeah. What are rents in Nevada? Have you looked it up? What's it going to cost you?
Yeah. We're about $1,800 to $2,100 a month.
Okay,
Yeah.
$2,100.
Let's say you got $30,000 more for the house. 5 months from now, you're going to net $15,000 more than you are today. Because you're going to lose $3,000 a month for 5 months. That's $15,000. If you get 30 more than you got now, and you broke even, well, break even is no longer break even because you're now 5 months in the hole at that point. And that's fairly realistic that you could probably pull that off. In the meantime, while you're in Nevada, I want you working 24/7. Every job you can get your hands on it, you need to stack up as much cash as you can stack up to keep from getting foreclosed on here if you can.
How are you paying for the move cross country?
Well, we've downsized all the non-essentials, and I was planning to drive a U-Haul trailer.
Okay, so you're paying cash. We're not going into debt or okay.
All right. So let's I would not take the $30,000 loss today. Number one, you can't finance it probably. You probably don't have the option to take it. And then let's put the house on the market and try to see if we can get more for it sometime in the next few months before you lose it. You're going to lose it about a year from now. And they're going to come after you for the difference and sue you for the difference. If during that time you get another lower offer that you can't cover, then you would propose a short sale to the mortgage company. A short sale is where you're behind on payments and the mortgage company thinks they're about to have to foreclose on it. And if they have to foreclose on it, they're only going to get X out of the house and you can get them X today. They'll take the X, they'll take the reduction in the mortgage, in the balance on the mortgage, but they're not going to cut it while you're current. They don't do short sales with people that are current. So if you're 5 months behind and you get an offer like this and you don't have the money to cover the difference, you negotiate a short sale, and then Ted, here's the number you remember. Here's the phrase you remember: without recourse. A short sale without recourse, which means they don't come after you for the hole you leave in their mortgage that you don't pay because of this whole series of unwise decisions you all have made, starting with an overpriced purchase and then making a move before you had a house sold. Both really unwise. Let's pretend that we could revisit our last caller before he made some of these decisions.
Yes.
All right. You buy a house that you can't afford. Now, lots of people have done that.
Yes.
And your house payment's 50% of your take-home pay. This, by the way, is mathematical suicide. The stupid mortgage company will approve you for it, but there's no chance this is sustainable. Okay. He did that in October for $366,000. Put down $20,000, which, By the way, now we've lost that money.
Yeah.
$20,000 is
gone.
Poof, it's gone. Okay. Because we bought a house we couldn't afford and we put ourselves in a crack. All right. Now, make $71,000. Mom does not work outside the home, has 2 kids and 1 on the way any minute. We have a toxic work environment. Right?
Okay. Yes.
That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't exactly what he didn't call it that. He called it something else. But the current job wasn't what it was supposed to be.
It wasn't what it was. Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. So what should you do in that situation? Well, your wife is about to have a baby. You are about to have to sell a house and change jobs. Okay? You've got to put this stuff in the right order or you make a bad situation really bad.
Yeah.
Okay? So you do not have the luxury of leaving the toxic work environment unless they fire you.
You want to create stability.
You have to stay there
Yeah.
until the baby comes and the house is sold.
Absolutely.
Period. And if you can't pay the house payment because it's so tight, you have to work an extra job.
Yes.
Suck it up, Buttercup, and take care of your family, your wife, and your baby and your obligations.
Mm-hmm.
Not it's not working out at work.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's unacceptable. I mean, unless they are doing something that's going to get you put in jail, not just hurting your little feelings, you need to go to work until the house is sold and the baby comes. Now, if you get the house sold and the baby comes and you want to take a break-even job and lose your $20,000 down payment, break even on the house, which was his hope, then move with cash with a U-Haul to Nevada and break even. Not sure that's the smartest move, but
I don't
at
know.
least then it's somewhat acceptable. But by putting this in the wrong order, he may have bankrupted himself and may have put himself in foreclosure.
The thing is, that $20,000 loss plus is going to cost him $10,000 to move. You can't move. Even if you do a U-Haul, what it costs to hire the people to load up the truck, you driving down there, the boxes, all of that stuff.
Let's pretend your friends from church feel sorry for you and help you load the truck.
Listen, beyond 30, good luck to you.
You got to pay for the U-Haul and the gas.
All right.
That's all. Still going to cost you some money out of pocket.
Cost you a
They
lot.
probably can pull that off if they had everything else lined up.
Yeah, you've got to run.
You don't get to run from discomfort into the other frying pan.
Well, and you have to run scenarios. You have to say, well, here's an option. Well, okay, worst case scenario, if that happens, what do we do? Okay, worst case scenario, if that happens, what do we do? And they didn't run any options. It was just like,
I quit my job.
And
I took
our
a new
house
job.
will sell. And it'll sell for the magic number. Like
in time for me to have a baby and move my baby. No. Let me tell you, husbands, rule number 1, don't move your pregnant wife.
Ooh.
Period.
And you're moving to Nevada where it's hot.
No, do not move your pregnant wife. It's like federal law. Do not move your pregnant wife. Let her have the baby, then talk about moving. Really, this is what you do. It's pretty simple, y'all.
It was 115 degrees in Nevada last week. That was the way it felt outside. If you're talking about moving a woman that's 8 months pregnant to 115 degree temperatures, she's going to make him pay for that.
Yeah, for the rest of his life. But here now what we're facing is the house is going to get behind.
Yeah.
And we're either going to write a check to cover the difference. We're going to go into a short sale, which is right there next to a foreclosure as far as destruction of your credit. Mm-hmm. Or you do what's called a deed in lieu, where you deed the house back to the bank, and they take the house and as settlement in full without recourse.
Okay.
And that's instead of foreclosure, deed instead of foreclosure, similar to a short sale. Both of these are due to your credit about what a foreclosure does to your credit, but they don't chase you for the deficit. If you don't pull off one of those two things, and those are up to the bank, up to the mortgage companies, whether you can pull that off, very difficult to negotiate, especially in this current real estate environment.
Right.
They don't like losing money on mortgages in an escalating price environment. They just don't do it very often. And so if you can't negotiate a short sale or a deed in lieu, a deed instead of a foreclosure, then you're going to get foreclosed on. And now this $242,000 loan will have been run up with foreclosure fees and 10 months of back payments to about $310,000. They're going to sell this house for $200,000 and they're going to sue him for $110,000 deficit.
So how does he walk that line?
That's how dumb this was.
How does he walk the line of, okay, so the first offer they got would have put them at that $30,000 deficit. If he had said, you know what, I'm going to wait this out for 5 months, I'll pay the payment, I'll see if I can, and then if I'm getting offers, maybe I can then cut that in half and I'm loaning out, I'm getting a loan for the other 15, something like that. At what point, because he's got to decide at some point, I'm either going to do that, and if that keeps going on, and then I get to the point where I can't make the payments, does that make sense?
I don't think he can make the payments day one because he's got the same money coming in, and he's got to pay rent in Vegas. So.
Right. And so there's this area of if he doesn't make the payments, but they don't do the short sale, but then that makes him ineligible to get the loan.
No, yeah, he's not going to get the loan. Once he's behind on the mortgage, it's a short sale.
So he's got to make
Once you're behind, it's a short sale or a deed in lieu or a foreclosure.
Yeah. So he's got to make that decision immediately. Now, otherwise he's...
I'm either going to, if he could borrow $30,000, which I don't think he can. I don't think this guy's bankable for $30,000. But if he could borrow $30,000 today, he could put the thing to bed for $30K. But I still don't think that's what, I wouldn't do that. I still would play it. I'd play it on out and see if I can limit the hit.
But you are at the bank's disposal, like you're at their at their will.
Short sales in 2008, 2009, 2010, we did a lot of short sales.
I remember.
And we did a lot of deeds instead of, deeds in lieu of foreclosure. And the key is without recourse, meaning they don't come after you for the difference. The deficit balance, which they will in the event of a foreclosure. So the only advantage to doing a short sale or a deed in lieu is to avoid the deficit chase on the foreclosure. It's not to really to save your credit.
Right.
It saves it a little, but not that much. You're still trashed.
Yeah. You're
still in a hole. So, folks, the point of the rant here and our I don't know what the right word is, our distress for that family is when you're in a situation that's tough like that, you got to be tough. You got to throw your shoulders back and go to work, even if it's not pleasant, to take care of the pregnant wife and to take care of the mortgage that you can't afford until you get the house sold. I don't care if it's pleasant. I don't care if it's toxic. I don't care if your boss is a jerk. I just don't care. You signed up for a crappy trip, and you get to ride the roller coaster of a crappy trip. It's not forever. It's for a few months, so you don't bankrupt your family. Because this one episode, this 4 months long right here, may take them a decade to recover from.
I know.
It just hurts me. It just hurts my soul. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.